Binance has declared war on FTX, and in this video we're going to look at the million-dollar question. Is FTX in trouble and should you pull your funds off the exchange ASAP? So if we look at the chart, we can see FTT has been an absolute roller coaster over the past few days. We saw some nice price recovery, and recently it's just absolutely crashed in price. So this is all due to the rumors which have been circulating like wildfire on Twitter over the past day, well, past couple of days, but it's really only yesterday it began to pick up a lot of traction among the Twitter community. Now this all stems from an article called "Is Alameda Research Insolvent?", which began circulation November the 4th by Dirty Bubble Media. And this is an important name because this is also the person that essentially forecasted the Celsius crash before it took place. They basically exposed the Ponzi scheme which was running on in the background behind the Celsius situation. So that's quite important considering they've just now released this about the same situation but now with FTX. So if we dive into what this article actually is, it's really summed up on this Twitter thread which was again released by Dirty Bubble Media. So what's happened? Well, a recent report by CoinDesk has showed that the balance sheet of Alameda Research is mainly FTT tokens. So we can see here we've got a total assets of 14.6 billion, and this is made up of 6 billion worth of FTT tokens, 1.2 billion worth of Solana tokens, which again is an FTX backed project, 3.3 billion of unidentified cryptos, 2 billion in equity securities, and 2.2 billion just unaccounted for. But the main driver in this is the 6 billion FTT token holding. And on top of that, we've also got $8 billion worth of loans. So you may be thinking, well, what's the big deal? They're holding $15 billion worth of assets and they only have $8 billion worth of loans. That looks fairly good. Well, let's just expose / dive into a bit deeper why this is an issue. Now it all comes back to this picture on the screen, known as the Flywheel Scheme, which popped up during the Celsius situation. Now in the Flywheel Scheme, a firm's solvency rests on crypto tokens issued, and that is an issue because you can create a token such as FTT, and what you do is you pump the price. By pumping the price, we can show gains on the balance sheet. These gains are then shown to investors, and these investors then allow you to take on extra loans by backing these loans against the assets that you have. And in theory, you can just print billions and billions of dollars worth of assets because all you have to do is pump a token's price, and in this case it's FTT. If you pump that token's price, you can then secure more loans, and that is real cash. You've turned a fake asset into real cash, and that is just summed up on this part of the thread. You create a token because tokens are just bits of code on the blockchain. You then pump the price. You use your assets or customers' assets on the exchange to wash trade this token's price until it goes up. You can drive a sky high price. You then market that into investors and you can show billions of dollars worth of assets on your balance sheet, and that allows you to show up your success, or aka cash in. What you do is you take a big loan which is collateralized by your token, and then you just keep that flywheel spinning. So that's a lot right now to take in. So to sum it up, we can see right here, FTX prints FTT out of thin air. FTX lends FTT to Alameda Research. Alameda Research borrows US stablecoins against FTT, or just normal US dollars. Alameda Research then sends this USD to FTX, and you keep repeating this loop. You keep creating value out of nothing. And if you want to read more about the flywheel mechanics and go a bit more in depth, check out this article. This article goes in a bit more deeper, and what's very interesting / concerning is the total market cap of FTT tokens right now is only 3.2 billion. Therefore, FTX hold more FTT on their balance sheet than tokens which are currently in circulation, and that is a big issue. If they look to sell those tokens because they need the liquidity, where are they going to get it from? They're holding 6 billion worth of FTT assets. The current market cap is only 3 billion. Who's going to eat up all those extra tokens? The price of FTT will just plummet. Now a rumor is a rumor, and normally we don't really take rumors to heart. We view them with a pinch of salt, but this rumor escalated yesterday because of this tweet by the main man, CZ of Binance. Now he came out and said, as part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, Binance received roughly $2.1 billion USD, equivalent to BUSD and FTT. And this is concerning because due to recent revelations that have come to light, Binance have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on their books. That's going to be a lot of sell pressure hitting the market now. And you may be wondering, well, how much sell pressure is it? Well, according to this Whale Watchers account, we saw $584 million worth of FTT be transferred from a wallet to the Binance exchange. So we're going to see just under $600 million worth of FTT tokens hit the market, and that is going to dump the price. And you got to think to yourself, once FTT starts dumping in price, what is going to happen to those loans that FTX is holding? They are currently collateralized by FTT. What's going to happen when that FTT tokens go down? Investors are going to want their loans repaid. More fuel was added to the fire when CZ Finance essentially compared it to the Luna situation. They're dumping their FTT just out of caution after what we saw with Luna, and that has caused more people to go into a frenzy. As soon as you associate the word Luna with FTX, people are just gonna go crazy with this rumor. So where does that leave us right now? Well, Sam from FTX actually responded to this today, and this was the issue with the rumor. We had no response from him for 12 hours, and normally he's very fast to respond to stuff on Twitter, and that's what made these rumors feel a bit more true, the silence. But he has tweeted since then, so he's come out with, a competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine. All assets are fine. FTX has enough to cover all client holdings. We don't invest client assets, and they have been processing all withdrawals. So, you know, there's no issues with people trying to get their funds off the exchange. Everything is fine. If you want to take your funds off the exchange, then you can take them off, no issues. On top of that, he then adds, well, the industry is heavily regulated. They have gap audits, and they have over 1 billion excess cash. And then he tops it off by saying he hopes that him and Binance can work together again in the future. But is everything as good as it seems? Because I've been doing some more research, and we've seen apparently some people are struggling to withdraw their assets. And if we just have a quick search on FTX withdrawals, we're starting to see a lot of feedback saying that people are struggling with withdrawals. They're just not processing. Normally you could process a withdrawal within a couple of minutes for FTX, but apparently people have been waiting hours and hours and nothing has happened, and that is a concern. It's essentially like a bank run. Now, where do I sit on all this? Well, if I'm honest, it's hard to draw an opinion if FTX are insolvent, and that's the issue with the cryptocurrency space. It was sort of summed up in this tweet here by Kobe. All exchanges should have transparent proof of reserves. It's difficult to believe FTX is insolvent, which I do agree with, but it's hard having to trust tweets. You know, we can't just be relying on crypto Twitter and relying on gossip and rumors to know what's going on. Right now, I have taken all my assets off FTX. I love FTX, I use FTX. FTX is my go-to. I just find it really user-friendly. The fees are low. For me, withdrawals and deposits are very fast, but yesterday I removed all my assets off FTX. Even if there's a 1% chance this is true, I will remove all my assets. It's just not worth the risk. Now, we have to also think who benefits from this situation, and it's gonna be Binance. If I look at myself as a personal experience, Binance is my number 2 go-to. So if there's all these rumors and FUD being spread about FTX, most people will move their assets off FTX to Binance because Binance is another trusted source that we use. Now, in my case, I've actually moved all my assets onto a hardware wallet because I wouldn't just move them from FTX to Binance. I just put it all into a hardware wallet, and I recommend the same for everyone watching this video. Never keep all of your tokens on an exchange, because if an exchange does collapse, by the time you hear about it, it will probably be too late to get your tokens off. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you sub for more, and I'll catch you next week.